Hello and welcome to a somewhat unexpected vlog. Unexpected because it's a cruising vlog. The Canal and River Trust have, as of yesterday, relaxed the rules slightly on lockdown so that we can now take day trips. And it is a beautiful day. So let's do it, if I can remember how to. This hasn't seen the light of day in a while, but it all looked fine. Belt tension okay, oil level okay, nothing untoward. I gave it a squeeze of grease over the stern gland, and yes, again when I returned later. Best to unplug the shoreline cable, else I'd take the entire pontoon with me as I go, and that would be embarrassing. The tiller arms attached with its pin, and the TV aerial removed for better filming rather than anything else. But would the boat start? Yes, easy. A few more revs to get it warmed up, and while it did that, I untied the ropes holding the boat to the pontoon. Then engage warp drive and head gently forwards. I can't turn until the back clears the pontoon, which makes all the space ahead of me vital to get the boat around, and even then I had to do a quick bit of reverse, else I'd have ended up in the reeds. That was closer than it looked from the back. But now I could head to the Marina exit. Okay, here we go. We could do with a mirror opposite the entrance that shows if anyone's coming, but I made do with the usual blast of the horn. And there was no one to be seen, so that was all right. Now there's a very sharp turn left, almost scraping the other side of the canal, bearing in mind again that the back of the boat needs to have come right out of the tight marina entrance until I could properly turn it. On the move again. What an unusual sensation this was. The trusty Nicholson's guidebook would remind me of all the twists and turns as I went. And it was a gorgeous day. It is lovely to be giving the engine a run again. Apart from anything else, it's been mostly sat idle in the marina, though I have run it for a little bit just in idle on the pontoon, but nice to give it a proper workout, and I could not have asked for a better day. This is lovely, absolutely lovely. There's a popular mooring spot here next to a pub and in easy striking distance of the town. The birds seem to be loving lockdown. That's not the boat squeaking, by the way. A goods train whooshed by as I passed the entrance to the Lichfield Canal. I did a video about the restoration work here. There's a link in the description. I'd really like one of their moorings, but they're much sought after. There was lots of towpath activity in the sunshine, as you'll see. A horde of young ducks swam ahead of the boat here, and they hadn't yet learned what a boat is because of lockdown, so they scuttled in a panic out of the way as I came through. Worry not, they never get run over. And how's about this for some duck action? I was approaching the village of Whittington here. That's actually someone's house, not a wharf at all. More ducks squeaking in panic as the strange blue floating thing barged through them. You often end up with a couple of ducklings on the other side of the boat to their mother, and instead of swimming to the back of the boat as you go past, they always think they have to overtake you and try to go round the front. A prime example was this pair. They eventually made it back to their mum, I promise. The spotty roof is because I've been touching up rusty bits. It's not finished. There's a fair few continuous cruisers out on the network still. They were told to stay in one spot other than for essential purposes while the lockdown was in place. There's something very charming about these cottages, I think. There is a winding hole just after the next bridge where I could turn around and go back to the marina, but I've only been going for just over an hour. It is a lovely day, so I think I'll continue heading on generally towards Fazeley. Whether I will get to Fazeley Junction or not, I'm not sure. There is another winding hole just before it. I'll see how I go. It's very hard to see, but in these rushes are some tiny black fluffy blobs that are morhen chicks. They scuttled out of the way as I tried to film. There's one. And another. And there's that winding hole. They tend to be very shallow in the furthest reaches, so it's best always to point your bow in to turn rather than backing in, as the back of the boat is heavier and deeper than the front, and it means the propeller won't get squished into the mud. This is the great British farming countryside. And this is my trying to see round a corner pose. It is truly a wonderful world. Such a shame we're ruining it. That birdsong through Hopwas Woods. Marvellous. Who can translate this boat name then? No excuses for another lingering greenery shot. It was a stunning day. Bonus points for anyone who knows what crop they're growing. Long-time viewers will recall how swans have a fondness for swimming directly in front of the boat, in the way. In this case we were heading to a bridge hole, which could make things a bit squishy for the swan if it didn't move, as there wouldn't be much space for it to go down the side of the boat. Ah, it seems Swanee realised this in time. This is an unusual craft. Looks like a converted CRT working boat. After the next bridge then, there is a winding hole. I'm not going to go all the way to Fazeley. It is a little bit further on, well probably only 10 or 15 minutes, but that's 30 minutes when you've been there and back. I've already done 2.5 hours out, so it'll be about a 5-hour journey, which I think is as much as I want to do. It's more than I usually do, let's face it. So I'll go under this bridge, turn, and then start heading back. Desperate for a cheese sandwich. And this one's a nice big winding hole too. Note the people doing magnet fishing under the bridge ahead, by the way. There's quite an art, which I don't always master, of getting your boat in just the right position to make the turn correctly into a winding hole, but it all went well this time. Lots of tiller hard to one side, and hard throttle makes the boat spin on its axis. It always requires a bit of forwards and backwards unless you have a bow thruster, but I don't, and as I always say, they're not really needed, they're just a luxury. And soon enough I was heading back the way I'd just come. For the first time on this trip, another boat appeared. Poor old Swanee had to move again. Spot the fisherman with the long pole. I wondered if he'd seen me coming for a bit, but in the nick of time he moved out of the way. back through Hopwas village and a chat with other boaters taking it easy in the sun. I've shown this little workshop butty once before. He makes stove chimneys in there.
Right.
As I headed back, the weather stopped being so warm. Yes, it may be mid-May, but the red jacket has come out again. It is that chilly. Still a nice day, mind you, but it is distinctly chilly. Nearly back now, and that will have been 5 hours of cruising all in. I'm nearly back at the Marina now, and I think that has been a very good run for a number of reasons. First of all, of course, just good fun, nice to get out on the boat and have a blast down the canal. Secondly, a good run for the engine. It's been absolutely problem free. It started without any problem, which is pretty good going when you consider that the starter battery is not charged either by my inverter charger or the solar. So it's pretty much been sitting there all winter, although I have run it in idle a couple of times. So that's good. And the engine's sounding very smooth and quite happy. And the third reason, of course, is it means I've made a vlog, an actual cruising vlog. Well, wonders will never cease. Just got to get back onto my pontoon berth now, which is actually easier than it would otherwise be because my neighbours aren't next to me anymore, so I've got double space to back the boat into, so that should be fine. Famous last words, of course, but it should be fine. I've speeded this up, obviously. Marina entrances are nearly always narrow, so they can be blocked off easily if the canal needs to be drained for maintenance, but still enabling the boats in the marina to stay floating. Oh, that was close. Made it nicely though. I just needed to back onto the pontoon. How hard could it be? Here I am again, sorting the boat so that when I turned, the back should be perfectly lined up with my space for me to reverse into. However, the wind had other ideas, and as you can see, it pushed the whole boat sideways down the marina at an angle before I'd finished turning, which meant that if I tried to go backwards, I'd just ram the other boats. This makes you unpopular in marinas. There's nothing else for it when this happens but to straighten up, reverse, and have another go. So here I am, straightening up, going back, and giving it another go. Much better, not least because the breeze dropped a little this time around. All done, a fine cruise. Time for that sandwich and a cup of tea. Cheerio.